Hi everyone, I'm going to read to you a story today which was a real favourite of one of my children. One of my daughters absolutely loved this book when she was about 6 or 7 years old, and it's called Dog Breath. It's quite funny, a little bit rude, but I'm sure you're going to love it. And it's by somebody called Dav Pilkey. There once was a dog named Hallie who lived with the Tosis family. Halitosis was a very good dog, but she had a big problem. Halitosis had horrible breath. Whenever Halitosis opened her mouth, horrible things happened. Look, the painting is holding her nose. The poor goldfish is turned upside down because of the terrible smell, and all the leaves are falling off this plant. My goodness. When the children took Halitosis for a walk, everyone else walked on the other side of the street. Even skunks avoided Halitosis. But the real trouble started one day when Grandma Tosis stopped by for a cup of tea, and Hallie jumped up to say hello. Uh-oh. Poor Granny, she's got such a fright from his terrible breath. She's dropped her cup of tea, thrown her cup of tea up into the air. Look at her hair as well. Mr. and Mrs. Tosis were not amused. Something has to be done about that smelly dog, they said. The next day, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis decided to find a new home for Hallie. The children knew that the only way they could save their dog was to get rid of her bad breath. So they took Halitosis to the top of a mountain that had a breathtaking view. They hoped that the breathtaking view would take Hallie's breath away, but it didn't. Even a sign here saying breathtaking view. Next, the children took Halitosis to a very exciting movie. They hoped that all the excitement would leave Hallie breathless. Even the posters say, it'll leave you breathless. It'll leave you breathless. And it's called The Breath of a Salesman. But it didn't. Finally, the children took Halitosis to a carnival. They hoped that Hallie would lose her breath on the speedy roller coaster. It says you'll lose your breath on our roller coaster. Guess what? But it didn't. That idea stank too. The plans to change Hallie's bad breath had failed. Now only a miracle could save Halitosis. Sadly, the three friends said goodnight, unaware that a miracle was just on the horizon. Later that night, when everyone was sound asleep, two sneaky burglars crept into the Tosis house. The two burglars were tiptoeing through the dark, quiet rooms when suddenly they came upon Halitosis. Yikes, whispered one burglar. It's a big, mean, scary dog. Oh, don't be silly, whispered the other burglar. That's only a cute little fuzzy puppy. See the great big shadow? And here is the tiny, weeny Halitosis. The two burglars giggled at the sight of such a friendly little dog. That dog couldn't hurt a fly, whispered one burglar. Come here, Poochie Poochie, whispered the other. So Halitosis came over and gave the burglars a big, nice kiss. Slurp, giving them a great big lick. The next morning, the Tosis family awoke to find 2 burglars passed out cold on their living room floor. It was a miracle. There's the dog. There's the burglars lying flat out because of the stink. Look, it's made the newspapers on this picture. The Houston Herald says, "Hero hound halts hoodlums. Rancid respirations restrain robbers. Bad breath bungles burglars. Panting pooch paralyzes prowlers. Mutant space dog captures evil Elvis clones." The Tosis family got a big reward for turning in the crooks, and soon Halitosis was the most famous crime-fighting dog in the country. In the end, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis changed their minds about finding a new home for Hallie. They decided to keep their wonderful watchdog after all. They're putting up the sign in front of their house here. This home protected by dog breath. Because life without halitosis just wouldn't make any sense. That's the end of the story. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.